Good morning. Hi there. I am here. I just thought I'd take this opportunity to just show you what I'm knitting on right now. I'm trying some angles with my camera to see if it works. I think it kind of works. You can see what I'm doing. Maybe it's upside down. But I am knitting a shawl that's partly mosaic and partly kind of yarn over stitch in fingering weight. This is one piece of it. It's knitted in two big triangular pieces that are then, I guess, knitted together. I have the one side of the first triangle on barber cords and the other side has been cast off, and that's what it looks like. It's got a mosaic section which is really lovely, and then it goes into this sort of see-through, can you see, a yarn over pattern, and I'm really loving it. So that's just a little intro. Here we are, I'm back. Hi there, Sita here from the Shawl Knitter Unplugged on this rather grey day. I think I've got a very, very boring background and not much going on in my picture, but it's a quiet day and I thought I would just take this opportunity to do a quick video. I'm in Cape Town at my daughter's home, and I am here for the winter school holidays to take care of my granddaughter who's 6 years old, Sage. And we have been really lucky because it's winter here, and the winters in Western Cape and Cape Town on the tip of Africa are very wet, and this year is one of the wettest winters in many, many years. So we've had a few absolutely glorious sunny days, and we've been out and about, and we've been in the gardens and to the museum and up the mountain and all sorts of exciting outdoor things. And today Sage has gone to play with a friend, so I am home alone very gratefully, and want to show you what I'm busy with. And I'm busy with a lot of things. So I'm wearing today this lovely silk top. This is part of the mulberry silk that I brought back from India. You can see, I hope I don't bump this too much. It's a short sleeve top that I'm wearing over a t-shirt, and it's really gorgeous. It's a top by 50 Fabulous Knits. It's called the drop top. It's got sort of a teardrop hole in the back, which I'm not going to show you right now, but it's really lovely, and it's actually quite warm. Mulberry silk is it's amazing fiber. It's light and airy. You can wear it in summer, and apparently you can wear it in winter. Today's the first day I'm wearing it over this grey t-shirt, and it feels absolutely fine. So that's what I'm wearing. And I have been knitting shawls at last, and sweaters, but I've been very busy knitting shawls, and yeah, it's the time of year that I actually love for knitting shawls, and we all love wearing shawls at this time of the year. But I did just manage to slip in a cotton summer top, which I'm going to show you right now. I started to make this probably about 3 weeks ago. I had some of this wonderful Fiber Natura. The brand is Fiber Natura, and it's called Papyrus. It's a cotton and silk blend, and I absolutely love this yarn. It's really soft. I've knitted two Look at My Holes from James N. Watts out of it, and the orange one I made was promptly taken by my granddaughter. You might have seen pictures of her wearing it. It's like a sort of mini dress on her. She absolutely loves it. And so I thought, well, okay, I'll have to make myself another orange top because I love orange. So I did that. And the top I decided to make, I think, is going to become a firm favorite, and I'm going to make quite a lot of them. It's sort of taken the place in my mind of the ranunculus. It is such a beautiful top. It is by Yamagara, and it's called Rock. Hang on a second. I can't tell you what it's called right now. I can't remember, which is terrible. I've got it written down. I'm going to get it. Okay, I found the pattern. I knew it had the word rock in it. It's called the Caprock Tee. The pattern is a short sleeve. I've made it into a 3/4 sleeve because I wanted to use up all the cotton yarn that I had. It's actually knitted in merino, although it is a summer top, and it's knitted on a 4mm needle. So there's a picture of it. Can you see the similarity with that lovely yoke? It's got like a sort of smocking border, which I'll show you, and then it's got a lovely rib underneath it. And this smocking pattern, which is there just above the rib, actually pulls it in slightly and keeps it on your shoulders, so that neck is not going to start to stretch out. And it's just such a lovely design, and it knitted up so quickly. It's got a beautiful neckline, just a lovely open, very similar to this. This is also rolled over, but this is quite different. It's got a garter you cast on, and then you knit a row of knit and purl, and then you make this garter border. And that is, it's looking a bit yellow here. It's much more orange. And it's gorgeous. It's absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. I haven't blocked it yet. I finished it last night. But this row of smocking, which is quite lovely to do, well, it's not a row, actually, it's about 4 or 5 rows, keeps this yoke in place. And then it's got this lovely, very wide band of 1, 2, 3, 4 by 2 rib. And then above it is a little bit of seed stitch and stocking stitch, and it's lovely. It's really lovely. I made a few modifications. I actually made the sleeves quite long, they're just below my elbows, and I put a half twisted rib. They don't use that, they have the same border as the neckline, but I decided to go with the half twisted rib, and I did the same at the bottom of the sweater. So it's not actually a sweater, it's a t-shirt, and it's absolutely lovely. I've tried it on. I'm looking forward to wearing it. My daughter tried it on. She said, I actually could wear one of those too. So that's it, the Caprock Tee. I highly recommend it. It's got a lot of sizes. I'm sure you'll find one that works for you, and it is by Yamagara, and very, very nicely written pattern. So I'm really have enjoyed making it, and it's definitely not going to be the last one. And as I said, I think it's going to replace, in my book anyway, the cravings that one gets for ranunculus. I think I've made 4. I will not be making any more. I'll make a few of these. I love it. So that's my first happy ending, my first finished garment. And then I've been showing lately a lot on my reels and on my Instagram the absolutely glorious and huge Slipstravaganza shawl that I've just knitted, which is an order, and here it is. It's now it's completely ready to go, although I do see that I have not actually, I I have not actually trimmed off all the threads yet. So what I do is, before I block my shawls, I weave in the ends, and then I don't cut them off, because when I block I stretch the garment so that those ends, if you cut them short, they'll pull back a few stitches and then stick out. Then you have to trim them again. So I leave the trimming until the end. So these that you can see are woven in. Smells beautiful, but they have to be trimmed off. So this shawl is massive. It goes on, and it's in these absolutely glorious, dramatic black, cerise, orange and red, and it is big, and just makes me want to have one like this for myself, although I've said I'm not making another one, but it'll take me a few months, I'm sure, and I will be making another one. So there it is. I'm wearing it and it looks gorgeous. So that is the fabulous Slipstravaganza, which we all know. I am also I'm working on this, it's called Knit As You Are Mosaic Shawl. Now this is by a designer that I have not actually knitted any of her designs yet, Sweaterfreak. You probably know her. I happened to scroll past one of her posts about maybe 2 months ago, I'm not quite sure, and she was going to have a mystery knit along, and she had a big discount on the pattern, so I bought the pattern. I knew that I wasn't going to knit it along as the mystery, but I thought, well, let's try something new. So once the mystery cal was over, I saw the design and I really, really liked it. So I was very happy. I had the pattern, I had the yarn. It just takes 3 skeins, 2 skeins of one color and 1 skein of the other, and it involves mosaic knitting, which is, I absolutely love mosaic knitting. So I showed it to you in the very beginning when my camera was facing downwards. It looks a bit orange here, but this is a really strong red and a lovely variegated grey, and yeah, this is a stitch I haven't done for quite a while. Sort of, in my mind, a sort of old-fashioned stitch that I quite like, with this yarn overs and then you drop them off on the next row. Here's the barber cord holding the one side of this triangle, and I am busy knitting on the next triangle. So that is giving me a lot of joy. So at least I do have 2 shawls on the go, because the other shawl that I'm knitting is not very nearby, but I will show that to you next week, I guess. So I have recently finished knitting the Shawl sweater. I totally am in love with that sweater, and I'm really glad that the weather's going to be cold again, because I've got good excuses to wear it. It's very warm. I made it out of fluffy alpaca yarn, and it is so gorgeous. And I showed it to my daughter and she liked it, and I thought, well, I'll knit her a sweater, but I won't knit her the same sweater. But I love this designer of the Shawl, and it is by Aegyoknits. Now I saw somewhere that she kind of says it like Aegyoknits. But anyway, I'm sure you know Aegyoknits. She has the Shawl, which was brought out last year, or maybe even a bit before that. Very popular, very lovely. And this is the one I'm making for my daughter. It's called the Bowie, B-A-W-I sweater. And it is big and oversized, as she likes her sweaters to be. It has this lovely rib detail down the arms, and I'm sure down the side of the body, and a big folded over collar, and it's very big and oversized. I think I'm going to size it down slightly, because if I look at the sleeve here, I don't know if she's wearing the larger size or not, but it's super baggy, and I think that kind of limits one a bit. My daughter works, she'd like to wear it to work, I'm sure, and that is just a bit a bit too much sweater for my liking, and probably for her liking too. So I have started that, and the pattern actually calls for an Aran yarn held with a mohair. But my daughter, whose name is Martinique, so I won't be saying my daughter, Martinique, does not like mohair. She doesn't like fluff, it irritates her, she can't wear it. So I had to make a different plan. And she's not terribly fussed if it's not a pure wool jersey, because then she can just throw it in the washing machine. So I went down to the local yarn store. Sorry, it's going to be a little bit crinkly because it's in the packet. And I got this very cheap and 20% wool elite yarns. It's called Melange Wool Tweed. So look at that, it's quite pretty. It's a very, very, very pale peachy-ish pink with a black and grey tweed fleck in it, but it wasn't really quite thick enough. So I went through my lace weight yarns, and I found this. This is actually by Big Fox. It's a soft pink with a sort of very pale brown and a very light gold, and you know, it's a tiny little thin thread. So I thought, well, let me hold it together and see what we get. Anyway, I got gauge with it, which was the main thing. So, bit hard to show you. It's very big, and it's not on big enough needles, and it's not going to be because I don't have that. But look at this, and I think, you know, can you see? You can see the other the lace weight in there sort of brings it to life, I feel. So this is the neck. It's quite large, it's folded over. I knitted it down. You had the option of sewing it later or knitting it down. And here is the rib design that goes from the neck all the way down. This is the shoulder, and I think I've got about another 3 centimeters to go, and then I'm going to have to divide for the back and the front. But this will go all the way down the sleeve, and I think probably under the underarms too. So it's very, very soft, and you know, it's a loose-ish gauge. It's not too loose, but it's going to be lovely and soft and drapey, and she's thrilled with the colors, and I'm thrilled that she's thrilled. So that's a bit of the variety of what I have on the go at the moment. I have quite a lot of yarn that is on order, and that is sitting in the crate next to me with quite a lot of plans for some new shawls, a bit of lace weight with mohair, and I'm thinking of going back to one of my old favorites, Stephen West's painting bricks, which I totally love. And I actually saw a podcast today, what's it called? Just Another Podcast, I think. The lovely lady from Texas, she was wearing this rainbow painting bricks, which is quite similar to the last one I made actually. And I thought, oh, I just want to knit another one of those. So I think that's going to happen pretty soon. And never a shortage of ideas, never ever a shortage of ideas. So I'll keep on with all of that. I'm going off to Robertson to my knitting friend next weekend, and we're going to have 2 weeks of knitting. So I guess I'll probably finish the sweater for my daughter by then, and be able to start another shawl. What else is on my mind this week? I've been watching quite a lot of podcasts as per usual, and enjoying seeing all the summer makes from the Northern Hemisphere. That's also giving me ideas for summer to come. But I think I'm going to stick with this Caprock and make some short sleeve versions. Oh, I did actually see a beautiful knitted stripy dress. I think is her name Kutovakika. She's Danish. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. She made this beautiful striped cotton dress. In 12 days she knitted it, and Mark Nick said, I have to have that dress. So I'm sure that will happen in a few months. It's knitted out of a DK cotton. I just have to find a lovely soft DK cotton, which is not always that easy. So there's been that. And then I just noticed today on Instagram that there's now a new social platform or forum or whatever you call it, called Threads. And I see a lot of people are joining it. It's a place to talk about knitting and chat, and I'm not exactly sure. But you know, it's connected to Instagram and it's connected to Facebook, and all these things are joined together. And I just thought to myself, you know, do I need another platform? You know, it's enough for me to take care. I have 2 Instagram pages, one for my India tours, one for my knitting, and you know, all these things get transferred onto Facebook now to join another forum. And I thought, you know, please, I am not going to get involved in this. It just really doesn't interest me at all. And I actually commented on one of the designers who suddenly today, I don't know how, you know, it's very interesting to me how they put these things out on the web and they just grab the attention of everybody. And then you see who's joining it. So I'm not going to mention names, but there's some very big knitwear designers who have joined it, and you think, you know, you kind of feel that you're going to miss out if you don't. Well, I don't care. I don't care about missing out. I don't have any FOMO. I need more time for knitting, not more time for looking at more threads of, you know, knit chat. And it's put out by Mark Zuckerberg, by the way. So it's Facebook basically. And yeah, I don't want to get any more entangled in that web. So I will not be joining Threads. I will be keeping going here with my YouTube channel, and I hope you're enjoying it. I am sorry that my environments are not more interesting, but I every time I make a podcast, I'm in a different place. I don't have a studio where I set up my work and have all my yarn stashed behind me. My yarn is in a crate next to me. My knitwear is in the cupboard. I've got nowhere to hang it up. It's absolutely fine. I show you what I show you, and we have a chat, and I hope that's enough for you. And I really enjoy coming here and sharing my work with you. So I think for today, that is all I'm going to share with you. I'm truly loving the look of the Slipstravaganza here in the camera, as I can see myself wearing it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm not a black wearer, but look, I think I could definitely wear this, no problem. I went up the mountain and I wore mine, which is orange, of course, and I did actually get a compliment in the cableway by an American woman who said, that is such a gorgeous wrap. Did you buy it here? And I said, well, actually I make them. And she was quite impressed. Obviously she wasn't a knitter, but it's always lovely when you wear your work and people appreciate it. So yeah, I'm going to spend the rest of the day knitting. I am going to make a curry for my family tonight, my daughter and her husband and myself, a chicken curry, Indian style. It's going to be cold. It is already cold, but it's going to be really raining pretty soon, and we are going to have a lovely warm winter's meal and a cozy evening. So today is Friday, and I'm wishing you all a wonderful weekend. It does seem that already in the States the summer is cooling off, but here we are actually in the throes of winter, and I am totally loving it. So we've had 4 or 5 days of gorgeous sunshine, which has allowed me to take a very energetic 6-year-old out and about to the park, and I've even been to the museum, which I don't think I've been to the museum since I took my daughter 30 odd years ago, and to the gardens and up the mountain, and yeah, doing all the granny things, loving that. and about to be loving all the cold, rainy days. So I'm wishing you all the best. Take care, have fun, keep knitting, and thank you so much for coming to my channel. And if you'd like to, it would be very helpful if you could subscribe and like this video. It will help me to grow my channel. You know, as a South African podcaster, it appears to be very difficult for us to get the views that the podcasters in Europe and America get. Ours seem to be much slower growing platforms for whatever reasons. We do. I mean, I do have, I think it's about 75%, according to the statistics, foreign American and actually Scandinavian viewers. But yeah, we don't have the coverage, we don't have the population, the people that are interested in the knitting community in South Africa is very small. So we rely on you out there to help us along the way, you know, because we love being here, we love being part of the community, and we watch, well, I say we, but I know quite a few South African podcasters, so I will say we have all our podcasters that we watch from overseas, lots of our favorites from all over the world, and I'm constantly trying new ones. And when I find one that I like, which is very often, I always subscribe. So if you would be so kind as to help me along on this, I would be eternally grateful. Thank you. Take care. Bye.